Greetings, I'm Barrett, and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to continue our playthrough of Kingdom Death Monster. We just come back from taking on the Beast of Sorrow, and this time, per usual, we only lost one person. So we're going to be moving into our settlement phase here. We have a lot of resources we brought back, plus we have a lot from the last time we were here. There's so much stuff I could probably get, I don't even know where to begin. But we're going to have to start at the beginning and move this way. So of course we have to deal with our events and we have to figure out what else is going to pertain to our survivors. Of course, at the end of our last showdown, I have to give each of our survivors that survived 2 Hunt XP, which is going to allow Hawk, Kalydia, and also Ferdinand, or whatever his name is, Fandrin. I can't even pronounce my own characters' names. They all got 2 Hunt XP. That means that these two are going to be reaching their first age milestone. So we're going to go ahead and roll those up. Now again, I'm going to try a different type of dice rolling mechanic. Again, tell me what you think about this one and if you enjoy it or not. First, we're going to go ahead and roll for Hawk. He's going to roll 2d10 and see what he gets. He got a 19. That's going to be fantastic. Since we've seen the age event a ton, I'm not actually going to bring the book out. A 19 is actually +1 to his accuracy, which is going to help him out quite a bit considering he has that bow that he uses. We're going to go ahead and give him an accuracy. It's going to bring it up to 3, so that's really good. He's got 3 accuracy, 2 strength, 1 evasion, and of course only 3 movement. Oh, that's Ferdinand. That's Ferdinand. That's Fendrin. That's the wrong guy. Hawk, here he is. Hawk gets +1 accuracy. So he's going to go to 2 accuracy, 2 strength, and 1 evasion. Now let's go ahead and roll for Kalydia and see what she gets. Kalydia is going to gain 9. That's going to be just a random fighting art. So we're going to go ahead and take our fighting art deck, give it a good old truffle shuffle as usual, and see which fighting art she gets. She has gotten Strategist. Okay, so we got another Strategist guy. All right, we've seen this one before. I'm just going to go ahead and write it down on her card, and we're going to continue. That is all we have to do before we begin our new settlement video. Oh, I do have to also give them weapon proficiencies. I'm going to give her that dagger because she's going to be getting an awesome dagger pretty soon. So we're going to give her dagger. If I can write it, that's going to be magical. There we go. Dagger, and he's going to take bow. I don't know if it's ever going to affect him, but we're going to give him bow. He might actually do something with it. He did pretty good last time. We're going to go ahead and put those characters up there. We're all set to start our settlement event. If you're excited to see what we do during the settlement event and also our hunt, then I need you to meet me at the table. To begin our settlement event, we are going to go ahead and have our survivors return. We're going to gain our endeavors. Of course, we get 3 endeavors for our returning survivors from our Beast of Sorrow hunt. And we also get 1 for cooking. Now, of course, we do get 2 because we lost a survivor. She's going to go ahead and allow us to gain 2 more. So we have 2, 4, 6 total, what is this? Endeavors. So we're now going to go ahead and update our timeline next. Looking at our timeline, we're going to be moving into Landron Year 22, and we don't have anything that's going to happen. I am going to just go ahead and update our death count right now. We've lost only 1. Of course, if we lose more during the settlement phase, I'll add more. With that complete, we are going to go into our settlement events. We're going to go ahead and grab a random one here. We're going to shuffle these up, give them a good old truffle shuffle here. We're going to grab a new settlement event that's going to befall our terrible, terrible characters here. Let's hope something bad doesn't happen, though I don't know too many that are any good. But they had a lot that haven't actually done anything. We have Glossolia. The settlement calls out to the returning survivors in a chorus of unknown tongues. Each survivor in the settlement begins to speak in their own incomprehensible language until all the sounds of the settlement are replaced by a never-ending babble. Nominate 1 survivor. Okay, let's see here. Who shall we nominate? For this event, I'm going to go ahead and nominate Hawk. We'll see how this goes. So I have to go ahead and roll a d10. We got a 2. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to guess that's no good. It says the survivors begin to argue endlessly and with everyone. Oh, -3 endeavors. Oh, that's devastating. Oh, I don't even think I'm able to do anything this turn. All right, 3 of our endeavors are gone. That's horrible. Hawk, you were not very well nominated. All right, well, let's see what else happens here with our, what is this, settlement event here. We have Glacial prevents science endeavors. So anything with the science I can't do. Glossalia prevents education endeavors. Awesome. I have to have a pictographs, and I can do automatic writing. You write the story of your death. Gain a disorder. Your scribblings are meaningless. Gain 2 insanity. As your mind clears, you gain secrets from your own mad design. Gain crazed fighting art. That's not a 10. We're not doing that. Next, we got deep listening. I can spend 2 endeavors. Without language to distract them, the settlement learns to time their movements to the beating of their hearts. Departing survivors gain +1 movement token. Endeavors here once per settlement phase. I might actually do that. It costs 2 though, and that means I'm not going to be able to do anything else. Is that speed really worth it? Oh, we'll find out. I'm going to put this right up here, and then I'm going to go through all of our innovations and take out all the science and education ones. So I've gone ahead and taken out all of our science and our education ones. Now that doesn't mean I can't use this. I can still gain my departing survivors, get +1 survival. I just can't use any of the actions on here. So I can't use the cooking event from what I understand how this works. I can't use the storytelling event, the nightmare training event, or any of these. I can still gain the benefits of what you do. For example, I can't even build a blacksmith. That's pretty funny. So I will still get the bonuses of these cards, but I just won't be able to use the endeavors on the cards. That does leave us with a few. We got Shrine, Face Painting, Forbidden, all the basically the music and art ones. All right, and the family ones. We'll put them right up here. That's going to be the end of our event. So we've gone ahead and updated our timeline and our death count. Now we get to check milestones, and we're going to go ahead now and develop with our 3 endeavors. That's terrible. Now I do have a whole ton of resources that we have brought back with us. So I'm going to go ahead and put them out here, and we're going to decide what we're going to do. Well, the first 2 things we're going to do is we are going to use our love juice to perform an intimacy event, and we're going to choose 2 survivors. I'm going to choose Biram Everman and Morel. Those are going to be our 2 survivors. I'm going to do this. I get to roll 2 dice because of my roll. I think it's our survival of the fittest. Allows us to roll 2 and take the best one. So we got a 7, which I'm sure means we're going to gain a survivor of some kind. It is 1 to our population, and if we have bed, this survivor also is going to gain +1 strength. So I'm going to add him as a character to our list of survivors. We're going to go ahead and roll again. They're going to do the same 2 people, and this time I got a 6, which means that we are able to gain +1 to our population, and that's all that that's going to do for us. So we have 1 new character with +1 strength and 1 that's just going to be straight up normal. Of course, normal still means they get, was it +2 strength, +1 accuracy, and I believe it's +1 evasion. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue on with our development. I have a monster bone, a monster organ, a monster hide. Yeah, I know, I got these all planned out. I'm going to go ahead and innovate with these. Now, I don't have my symposium card, but because it's I believe a science, but I still get to take advantage of the card because it's not an endeavor to use the card to gain 4 different innovations and choose one. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know, but these are the 4 we're going to choose, and let's see what we have. We have Sculpture, we have Song of the Brave, we have Heart Flute, and we have Memento Mori. I think we've seen Memento Mori in Sculpture before. What is Song of the Brave? The survivor lifts their voices to the darkness. On arrival, each non-death survivor may remove 1 negative attribute token. During the Overwhelming Darkness story event, each non-death survivor may select Path of the Brave. I will guess which one. This is going to be a no-brainer here. All right, let's see what Heart Flute does. When a survivor uses the synchronized strike, we don't have the synchronized strike. All right, so I'm not too worried about that. Yes, these 3 I'm not taking. Song of the Brave is what we're going to take, and I'm going to add Song of the Brave consequences to the innovation deck. And the only Song of the Brave one we have is this one. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to our innovation deck, and who knows, maybe we might learn it next time. All right, that's what we got for that. We gained Song of the Brave. Next, I am going to go ahead and create my cat fang knife, and that is going to cost me some organs, which I might not use these organs because we have some extra ones in our settlements sheet. So let's go ahead and take a look at those to see if that's what we want to do. Of course, we did use our love juice, so I'm going to go ahead and discard these. To make our cat fang knife, we have to have 4 organs and, of course, the legendary cat teeth, or the elder cat teeth. I'm going to go ahead and use these 2 two different sinews. I don't really see any reason why I can't use some of these other ones as well. So we're going to use the muscly gums. I don't really see a use for that. And I'm just going to use the straight organ that I have here. So we're going to use those in order to create our four organs and our elder cat teeth to create our cat fang knife. So I'm going to go ahead and discard these resources right here, and we're going to continue on with what we're going to go ahead and make. We're going to use one of our shank bones. We got 3, so I'm going to go down to 2 shank bones here. That's going to give me the ability also to use this broken lantern to make a monster tooth necklace. I do have a plan if you're wondering why I'm making another monster tooth necklace. Hopefully it'll become apparent as I show you my characters on the way out. The next thing we're going to do, of course, is make our lantern cuirass here. That's going to be our plan. Now, in order to do that, I need a ton of resources. To make it, I need to actually gain 2 iron and 5 leather. So the first thing we have to do is make our leather. So I have to spend an endeavor, and I can make any number of hides into leather strange resources and put them in our settlement storage. So I'm going to go ahead and pay our 1 endeavor, and I'm going to go ahead and take our hides. We have 1, 2, 3, and this acts as 2, 4, and 5. So here's our 5 hides, or sorry, leathers. We're going to go ahead and use those, and we have to use the 2 iron that we also got. So we've used the 2 iron to go ahead and create this, so we now have a full set of lantern gear. I'm really excited for that. I think that's going to be really, really cool. Now, that's really all I was planning to make. I'm not sure what else there is to make that could help me continue on in this. I was thinking maybe a bone axe, but I'm not sure. The only other thing I am going to make is I'm going to turn these lion testes into a frenzy drink. So when I consume this, I can suffer the frenzy brain trauma and can be used once per showdown. So if I ever need to get rid of, I think it's cumbersome on a weapon, I could go ahead and drink this, or it's slow. I'd have to look exactly what the frenzy does, but I know it actually kind of benefits us. We can't use survival when you use it, if I remember right. That, I believe, is going to be all we're going to make with all the stuff we have. I do have 2 more endeavors left, and I think it's going to be best to use Shrine and our face painting again to try to help get us some survival and some extra defense. So we're going to go ahead and use one of these to roll for our battle paint. Or sorry, face painting. Let's roll up face painting and see what happens. We got a 4, which means we do get to gain 2 survival and 1 insanity when we depart. Now let's go ahead and try our Shrine and see what we get. We got a 7, so that also fires off, meaning we're also able to gain +1 to all of our armor. So we've gained 2 population, we have some armor, some survival, and also some insanity. Now, before we go ahead and start departing, I do have to remind myself, and remember this time, that he cannot come on this hunt because of his, what was it? It was his post-traumatic stress or traumatized, one of these. I can't remember which one it was, but I know one of these allows him to skip the next fight, and that's my fault that I forgot to have him do it for the last one, so we're going to do it for this one. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is prepare departing survivors. I'm going to record and archive our resources and our settlement phase, and we are going to go on the hunt. What are we going to hunt for? We haven't actually ever taken on a level 3 white lion, so let's go ahead and see if we can take him down. Of course, what I really need is iron more than anything else. I'd like to make some scrap, because I like to make scrap swords or iron swords and stuff like this. We have a ton of bone and hides, but I really don't know what to do with all this stuff because I've got a lot of good things on our characters as is from what I think I do. If there is anything, of course, I'm missing, please let me know. And I know I keep saying I'm going to make some monster grease, but I never do. But maybe I might at some point, or who knows, when I come back to play this again, I might do a whole bunch of monster grease that time and give it a shot and see what happens. The first survivor we have is Hawk. He is again going to join us on this wonderful expedition. He does gain the full leather armor, so he does have that going for him. I gave him the monster grease so we could link it with the leather boots. That allows him, after his activation, you may move 1 space. And since I can't move and fire this bow at the same time, I have to spend both my movement and my action in order to fire it. This at least gives him at least 1 speed every turn, no matter what. Now, of course, I could still dash and stuff and use my surges to use my cat eye circlet, but if I wanted to use the bow, I can't actually move. So that'll maybe help a little bit. Breck is going to be our next survivor that's going to go ahead and join us. He's new. Since I can't bring Ferendon, he's going to have to take his spot with the Lance of Longinus. Now, I also forgot to mention that when I set up Hawk, he was supposed to gain 2 insanity when he departed. He also already has max survival, so he can't gain any more. This person has 7 survival, and he also has the 1 insanity from our innovation as we left. He's going to gain the full screaming gear, and he's going to gain some stuff on arrival, but not when he leaves. He also, of course, has the luck stone. We'll see how that goes. And I gave him both a bone pick and a bone sickle. Hopefully that'll help us when we are moving down our hunt track. Next, we're going to move into Calidia. She is going to hopefully survive this fight. She's going to be our powerhouse. I don't see how this character is ever going to be like not wounding a monster. I've gone ahead and given her the cat fang knife and a bone dagger as well. So of course she has this full set of gear, so she can gain +2 strength when she attacks with these weapons. On top of that, she's going to be gaining another +2 strength from here. She has +2 here. So you're hitting 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, +8 to the roll, which is going to be fantastic. Now, I've also linked a whole ton of this stuff together. We have this together, so I do get my +1 movement. I also have linked 1, 2, 3 things here, so that means this is going to fire off. Now, this is not a puzzle piece. This is just straight 3 anywhere on my board. So I'm a perfect hit, going to gain a +1 strength token. Of course, I'll lose it if I get knocked down. I've given her the blood paint, so she's going to be attacking an astronomical amount of time. She's going to be rolling 5 dice for each one of these attacks, which most likely means unless I can find the trap and get rid of it, she's probably going to spring a trap more than I want her to, but I really think she's just going to walk in there and powerhouse this monster. That's going to be my plan. Of course, I do have the whole set, and I have the innovation that gives me +1 armor to everything that we rolled on, so she's actually going to be rocking 1, 2, 3, 4 armor in every single place. Here's our last character. It's going to be one of our new characters, Gwyneth. She is going to be rocking the lantern gear, and I'm going to make this miniature up and get it all set to go for our showdown. Here's what it does. Look at this. I've finally done it. All the iron we have been collecting is about to pay off. We have a lantern cuirass, which when you depart, you add 3 armor to all hit locations. But I get -2 movement, but because I have linked all these together, I get that extra 3 to all my armor. Natively, this gives you -2 movement, but I've also linked our lantern greaves together, which means that I get +2 movement, so it doesn't affect me at all. With this linked up here, I have -1 to my accuracy, but again, I've linked my lantern gowns, giving me +2 accuracy with clubs. This is a club, so we have like this huge amount of combos going on here. So I'm actually going to be a +1 accuracy and no negatives when I use this entire set. Plus, I have linked 2 red, which gives me +2 strength, my new monster tooth necklace that we picked up. And I just kind of brought the bone darts because it's one of the only things I have that links with that lantern greaves down there. So that is going to be our character. Sadly, I had to move the blood paint because I couldn't link all this stuff together with it. But we still have our whistling mace and our round shield, so I've added 1 to all of our hit locations. Check this character out. In all of her locations, she has 10 to absolutely everything she has. Oh my gosh, talk about a tank. This character should be able to take the hits without any problem. I'm super excited to play this character. We're going to set this one up just like we did last time, so we are going to go ahead and put out his hunt events right here. So we're going to put 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Now this is just the first half of the board. We also are going to put a couple at the other end of the board. So again, keep giving it a little truffle shuffle. We're going to put another one over here and another one over here. Now those are both going to be past the overwhelming darkness. Hopefully we pass through that without too much problem. Of course, the Song of the Brave, I think that will help a little bit. We're going to continue on by not putting anything here. These 2 are going to remain blank, and that's totally okay. Over here on this side of the board, past the overwhelming darkness, is where we're going to put our herb gathering and our mineral gathering. Hopefully these we can get to. Of course, some of these events make the showdown start right away. We might not get to those. I'm really hoping to get some more iron, and I'm hoping we can get deep into that mine in order to get some really cool iron. That's going to be our plan. At least I hope we do. We'll see how it goes. We're going to begin our hunt, and I'm planning to do a survivor upgrade here pretty soon. I need to get a new model for this character and a new model for that character. That's going to be our plan. Of course, she's still okay. He could use a small upgrade, but we'll see. He might just stay as he is, because at the time of this recording, I'm actually working on painting up another game that I really want to get to the table. So I'm trying to get that done and hopefully get some of these new miniatures painted as well and build for the Kingdom Death monster. We're going to move into our first hunt area, and we're going to send our new humongously tanked character out first and see what she finds. Gwyneth has found lion sculptures. A crudely arranged effigy stands before the survivors, decorated with a small metal trinkets, human fingers, and stuffed with dried tall grass. The quarry's sculpture confounds the survivors. The survivors gaze at the arrangement, attempting to glean the substance of the white lion's bazaar. In human intelligence, each survivor gains +1 understanding and +1 insanity. That's awesome. That brings everybody's survival or insanity up to 2, except for Hawk. He's got 11. So we're going to go ahead now and roll a random hunt event and see what we get. Of course, our white die will be the high die, the 10s die. And we got a 49. We have found pus fields. The landscape is dotted with large swelling mounds oozing pus. The smallest jostle threatens to explode them. The survivors may carefully tread through the mounds or rush through. Careful tread. You make it through without incident, but your progress is slowed. Roll again on the hunt event table before moving on the hunt board, or I can rush through. Each survivor rolls a d10 and adds their evasion to the result, and if the result is 7 or less, they detonate one of the pus mounds. They suffer 2 event damage to a random hit location, become stinky for the rest of this lantern year. I believe we're just going to go ahead and tread carefully, meaning we're going to go ahead and roll again on our hunt event board and see what we get. We got a 43, so we're going to go ahead and read that one. Now we found a fresh kill. A carpet of skittering bugs points the survivors to a freshly killed monster. The scavenging insects try to defend their dinner, but the survivors fight them off to claim the prize. Each survivor rolls 2d10 and adds their hunt XP. The highest scoring survivor, roll off in case of tie, slays the most vermin and wins the putrid prize for themselves. They gain 1 random basic resource and 1 random vermin resource. So I'm going to roll Hawk and Chlamydia first because they get to add 2 to this roll. So the first one is going to be a 12, 13, 14. That's for Hawk. Our next one is going to be a 7, 8, 9. So far Hawk is winning. Now we're going to roll for Gwyneth. Gwyneth got a 12 almost. And the last one is Breck. Breck got a 14 as well. So those two are going to go ahead and face off in a tie. We'll have Hawk roll the white die, and we'll have the other guy roll a black die. Wow, Breck stepped in and took advantage of this and gained a random basic resource and 1 random vermin resource. The vermin resource he found is going to be this one. He has found the sword beetle. I could go ahead and archive this to roll. If I get a 6+, I get a permanent strength, or else I die instantly. Yep, not going to happen. So Breck got that. And he also is going to gain 1 basic resource. We're going to give these a good old truffle shuffle here and see which one we get. We've got monster bones. We're going to give that to Breck. We have completed this encounter, and we're going to move all of our characters up. And now I think it's time to have Hawk. Hawk is going to move forward and see what's in this place right here. He has found Prowling Lion. While survivors stalk the white lion, the monster hunts something else. Move the white lion 1 space away from the survivors on the hunt board in pursuit of its prey. The white lion starts the showdown with ground fighting in play. Build the AI deck normally. All right, so I'm going to put this underneath the white lion so I can remember to start him with ground fighting. I've also gone ahead and moved our white lion 1 space away from our survivors, which is pretty terrible. So he's done something and she's done something. We're going to move these characters up, and I'm going to go ahead and have, I think we're going to have this character, our new one, Breck, who got the resources, to go ahead and roll for a random encounter. Let's see what he gets. He got a 73. We have found a golden ember. The way forward is blocked by a dense gold-flecked smoke. If the survivor have a final lantern, it guides them through the smoke without any trouble in this event. Well, we don't have that. It probably is going to be good if we did. The survivors may push ahead and brave the smoke. If they do, each survivor gains +1 courage, and the event revealer rolls on a d10. If they don't brave the smoke, they take the long way around and roll again on the hunt event table before moving on the hunt board. I don't see why we don't do this. Why not, huh? What's the worst that could happen? We all die. So it means each of our survivors are going to gain +1 courage, and I have to roll a d10. So let's go ahead and roll our d10 and see what happens. We got a lantern 10, so we're going to go ahead and read that. Gaining the +1 courage means Chlamydia does actually make a courage into her bold event, but we're going to finish this first. The survivors grasp each other's hands, form a line, and traverse the smoke. They breathe through rags and take turns peeking out for orientation. Somewhere deep within the smoke, they stumble across a crater. They may ignore it and escape the smoke, ending this event, or explore the crater. Oh, wow. Do we really want to explore a crater? We already did this. Yeah. Why not? We will go ahead and explore the crater. This is a bad idea. The survivors carefully descend into the crater, finding the ruins of a settlement surrounded by a ring of skulls. The settlement is absolutely demolished, and almost everything has been ground to a powder, from some tremendous force. The skulls face away from the ruins, and in each gaping mouth a golden ember spews smoke. The sight is haunting. Each survivor suffers D10 brain event damage, and gains 1 random disorder. The survivor gingerly sifts through the ruins. Nominate a survivor to investigate and roll a D10. Well, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and, I think I have to do all this stuff first before I'm able to investigate. I'm going to just go ahead and investigate and see what happens, and then we'll go ahead and deal with all the damage I take, because I'm sure everyone's going to take multiple disorders here. Also on top of that, if any of them do make that what I'm about to roll negated, we'll go ahead and roll again. So let's go ahead and nominate a survivor. I'm going to nominate Hawk. We're going to nominate Hawk to do this. He's going to roll a d10, and he got a 9. I think that's going to be just fine. He does have an ability that allows him to get +2 to an investigate roll result, and I think I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to take an 11. With that done, now everybody is going to roll a d10 and gain that many brain event damage. Now, most of our people don't have more than 2, so this is almost a moot point. We're going to start with Gwyneth. Gwyneth is going to lose 7, so she's going to be at the point where if she takes any more, she's going to actually have to take a disorder. Next, we're going to do Hawk. He's got a ton of it, so he's actually going to lose 3. That's going to bring him down to 8 on his insanity. Now we're going to move over to Clydia. She lost 5, so she's going to be, she lost all of her insanity. And the next character lost 4. He lost all of his insanity. So the only person that has any insanity left is Hawk. So Hawk is at 8. Everybody else is already ticked off there if you're in your brain event damage maximum that you can have. Now that that's done, we've gone ahead and rolled. I do also have to give a disorder to absolutely everybody. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. I should not have done this. So we're going to give our deck a good old truffle shuffle here and see what disorders befall our survivors. Our first one's going to be Gwyneth. She is going to gain Rageaholic. When rage boils out of control, whenever you suffer a severe injury, you suffer the frenzy brain trauma as well. All right, we're going to go write that down on her character. We're going to go ahead again and mix these up and see what we get for Hawk. Hawk is next. Hawk is going to gain Traumatized. Whenever you end your activation adjacent to the monster, you are knocked down. Oh, we've had this one before. This one's terrible. With that one done, we're going to mix them up again and see what happens to Clydia. She's going to go ahead and Clydia. She's going to grab one here as well and see what she gets. She is going to take, we're going to take this one off the top. She has gotten Anxiety. At the start of each showdown, gain the priority target token unless you have stinky gear in your gear grid. Oh, I could have probably had stinky gear the whole time, but we decided to skip that last event. So she's going to gain this one. Finally, we have Breck. We're going to give another big old truffle shuffle here and see what happens to Breck. Breck is going to grab one in here somewhere. Let's see which one. We'll just do the top one again. He's got Squeamish. You cannot depart with any stinky gear in your gear grid. If a status or effect would cause you to become stinky, you lose all your survival. Oh, good news that we didn't hit. Well, it's kind of funny that so many things have to do with stinky gear. All right, we're going to put this down for Breck, and we're going to move on. 11 states that amidst the ruins you find only one unbroken object, a twilight sword. It rests, respectively laid across a mostly undamaged survivor's skeleton. If the settlement does not have a twilight sword, and no survivor in the group has the honorable disorder, you may nominate a survivor to gain the twilight sword rare gear. If you do, add the Hooded Knight story event is now on the timeline and put it in 2 years from now. I'm going to tell you right now that is not happening. The Twilight Sword's done nothing but kill my characters. So we are not taking the Twilight Sword. So let's just go over what has happened. So I had the ability to not go here. Instead, all of my people lost all their insanity and they all gained a disorder. And on top of that, I could have maybe gained a Twilight Sword. Well, we don't never to go through this one again. If I'm allowed to just walk away, yeah, walk away. Now that that's finished, we do have to do the bold event for Clydia. We'll see how this goes. She's going to go ahead and roll her die and see what she gets. For her bold event, she got a 6, which means she's going to gain +1 understanding, and she also has the ability that when she's determining stragglers, she gets to add her hunt XP. So she gets to add +2 if we ever have to do a straggler event. So she gained a little more understanding, which does not actually activate a milestone. So this character is done. We're going to move up and see what we find behind the next one. Now, of course, it has to be her. She's the only one left. We have found White Lion Cub. Oh, I remember this one from last time. When a survivor finds the White Lion Cub, they may choose to slay the cub. If they do, each survivor gains a basic resource, and the event revealer rolls on the table below. Well, I think we're going to slaughter the poor cub. I'm so sorry, Mr. Cub, but that's the way life goes. You know, survival of the fittest here, and of course, we need to continue our lives. So we're going to slaughter the cub, sorry, little cubby, and we're going to go ahead and roll and see what we get. we got a 7. So let's see what 7 is. I think that's the one we want. Let's see what it says here. The father lion shows up and begins the show. And immediately, yes, that's kind of what I wanted. Sadly, of course, I don't get to my events over here. Okay, I got to remember to start putting these over here if we fight a white lion, because there's so many of these events that seem to bring that thing to us. So here it comes. Then here we go. We're going to take on this white lion. Of course, we're going to be doing that in the next video. Sadly, I didn't get these. Now, of course, what do we gain from getting all the way up here? We got some courage, and we all got some disorders, and we all have no insanity, except for, of course, our character Hawk. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of Kingdom Death Monster. We're continuing on. We did that settlement hunt. We gained some really awesome armor. I'm excited to see how Gwyneth does. Of course, she starts with the priority target token, which is not who I want to have that happen, but that's okay. We will continue forward and hopefully take this white lion down. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so we'll see you know when the next video comes out. And of course, it'll be the hunt with the white lion, or I mean the showdown. We're going to take him down. Hopefully we do it without actually losing anybody, even though it seems to be my MO in this game is to lose people all the time. So we're going to continue on. It's going to be awesome. And if you want to leave anything in the comments below, I would love to hear from everybody. It'd be so great. I'm having such a blast. I hope you guys are as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. And if you're excited to see what happens to our survivors when we take on a level 3 white lion, then I need you to meet me at the table.